Not all of us, but most of us didn't grow up hearing how valuable we are. We didn't grow up hearing we necessarily had a gift or a purpose in life. We didn't hear we could be successful or that we were destined for greatness necessarily. Most of us heard, get your diploma, get your degree, get a job. For centuries, God's people who are created in His image and likeness, have carried that break your back, rat race model of living at great cost to our families and our health. And when it's all said and done, research shows that most people can't even afford a $400 emergency. The current economic structure of creating and distributing wealth that we're living up under does not work, is not working, and will never work. That model is done. The fundamental reason why that model doesn't work and will never work is because it's not the economic model God intended for His people when we were created. To labor and to toil, to live hand to mouth, is part of the curse that Yeshua the Christ redeemed us from. The problem is we have forgotten a huge part of our spiritual identity and ancestry. We're in the middle of a severe spiritual identity crisis. The enemy has tricked us into waiting for the degree, the title, the position, the spouse, the house, the thing that will tell us we now have permission to feel that we have finally arrived. But we've forgotten, or we were never told, our Creator says we arrived when we were born. When we were born, we arrived full of the gift, the calling, and the purpose of God, that He sent us to this earth to be as an expression of Himself, as an expression of His love in the earth, through the avatar, we could say, of our own individual body and personality. We each arrived as an answer to the kingdom of God, in the kingdom of God, for the kingdom of God. And the kingdom of God is the solution to every problem or crisis we're experiencing today in our society. When we don't understand or know God's vision for our lives, and remember, we each have individual and collective purpose in that kingdom, in God's kingdom that has purpose, in God's kingdom that has a solution for every personal and public crises that we can experience in the world today. We lack the restraint to live according to God's high moral standards, and refusing to live according to God's high moral standards, or being tricked out of living according to God's high moral standards, is what's leading to the life of corruption we see in the world today. The enemy has purposefully blinded the masses from the whole truth of our identity, to be able to afflict us with the vagabond spirit of wandering that we see on so many people, that's leading to the pandemic of compulsions and addictions that have become national crises, because we have a hole in our soul that cannot be filled with the pleasures of this life. It cannot be filled with giving our body pleasure. It cannot be filled with buying material things.